Hey, this is Dave Hing. I just want to do a quick video before I launch into my long-winded part of my explanation of what happened here. This is the P1381, the 98 to 2002 Honda Accord. There was a service bulletin out to check a couple of things. Next to the ignition coil, there's this piece of metal. You want to make sure that's on there. I think some distributors on the Accord don't have that piece of metal. But my problem was actually the alternator. Even though it was charging at 14 volts, there's diodes in the alternator that can mess up the timing. So it looks like the problem's the distributor, but you might want to ultimately take a look at the alternator, test everything, and here's my long-winded explanation. Accord's 4-cylinder, as far as I know. I had a check engine light on the way home from the junkyard, and yeah, I wanted to do the video specifically because it took me a few days to figure this one out. The 1381 in the service manual points you at the distributor. I stopped by an AutoZone on my way home, and they pulled the code. The guy said, look at the distributor. He pulled a YouTube video for me for a Honda Civic, and they're like, okay, change the distributor, that will fix your problem. It didn't fix the problem for me. The check engine light came on. I went to the junkyard actually and got another distributor, so I threw a part at it. You're not really supposed to do that. There is specifications, for to check the resistance on the distributor. But there was a lot of oil leaking underneath it. It was just all spread out underneath this distributor. And so I thought that there was an oil leak and that was creating the problem, in the distributor. So that wasn't the case. Check engine light. I brought home the junkyard part, cleared the code. The light came on a couple days later. I had the other thing in the service manual is to check this. There's a resistance for the spark plug wires. I won't get into that because ultimately the problem isn't any of this. I replaced the wires with new wires. They were 100,000 miles old. I had done a valve adjustment and put in new spark plugs, but I never changed the wires. So I have new wires. Clear the code. A day later, the check engine light came back on again. It turns out, as I got into the hey, and there's the dog. As I got into the troubleshooting, see if we can get the problem is the alternator. There's diodes in the alternator. Went to the junkyard and got an alternator. This is all junkyard parts, and there's diodes in the alternator that affect the timing of the car, and that ended up being the problem. So even if your alternator is charging at, say, 14 volts and they test it and it appears like it's working fine, you might want to take a look at that. And I guess junkyard parts is the way to go on this one, because it does save you money, and it helps you. You can throw a part at it and it's not going to break the bank. So hope that helps. See you next time.